Hello and welcome to all the mods 10 to the sky. New Skyblock dropped a few days ago. I've been waiting for it to get a few updates. It's on update 2 at the moment, and I think it's time to start. I did do a test world, and I got part of the first chapter done. Only the first chapter is unlocked right now, so it is going to be it's going to be rough. Let's go ahead and start here. The way this works is you create your world, you log into the world, and then you create an island, right? So it's got like this built-in kind of multiplayer aspect to it. So we'll get in and create our little island, and it's fun. Like you start out sieving materials and stuff like that. So it's I like that better. I don't really like bees that much. I like the old Skyblock method of the hopper trees. You put the trees, you get material kind of thing. I thought that was kind of fun. But I don't mind sieving. It's better than some of the other methods. So that's what we're going to be doing for most of this episode. Now let's go ahead and do YouTube, because that's what I call all my YouTube videos for this. Game survival commands off. The worlds is the standard stuff. Everything else is just basic. So let's go ahead and hit create new world. The world generation is pretty quick because there's no world generation. And you start in a room and then you go from there. We'll do that all together so you can see how it works, just in case you don't know. There's a little bit of loading screens here, but most part it runs pretty fast. I do have, well, in my test world, I enabled complementary shaders. So there's some shader action, which I didn't notice any issues with, and stuff like that. But I did do one of the custom islands that it provides, and I kind of liked it. And I'm debating right now. We're gonna see what the other ones are, because I only looked at one. But I'm debating actually doing that. So if we do Skyblock GUI, there we go, create new team, and then you can see here it gives you these little options for different little starter islands, and I kind of like this just because it gives you like that base of something that looks kind of cool, right? So here's another one, the Witch Cottage, which is a nice little building there. The default, kind of boring. This one here, I did not try. But looks kind of cool. It looks like it's got a lot of mountain, kind of little starter island stuff, like a nice little thing. I did this one, and this one was pretty cool. There's like a little cave and stuff like that. Now, everything on this island is terracotta, which is kind of interesting because some of the recipes actually require cyan terracotta, so you kind of get a little jump ahead there in some cases. And then this one's a pig. That is kind of cool. I didn't see that one before. So let's just pick one of these real quick. That one's too much. Let's go with I think we should do that one. See what the simple life was again. That one starts you with a farm. That's kind of too much. This one doesn't really start you with anything. We're going to do this just so it looks kind of cool at first, and it gives us a nice flat area. We don't have to worry about building out cobblestone and stuff like that. So we can go ahead and create this one. We'll call it YouTube, and create. And it instantly creates this, so we get a little thing. So this one does start you with a bed, so you get your bed right here. But nothing else in here. It's just like a little wagon. I think it's kind of like a like a little thing. I don't think any of these actually do anything. There's an oven, I guess. I never even noticed that before. Plate, for the cooking mods and stuff here. There's a counter and stuff like that. So there's a little bit of storage. But you come out here, there's a nice island. You get your tree. You get a little picnic basket stuff over here. Nothing too fancy, right? And then there's a cave. You can go down here, which gives you this little cave. There's not much in this cave, in all honesty, right? It's glow lichen. It's not ore or anything like that. So some stuff. It's just more or less just more space that you can expand your base and stuff, and put things down here. And it looks cool. So like it's got that benefit to it. You can see it just pretty basic thing. There's some lanterns. I didn't notice any mobs spawning except for the phantoms, so that's kind of the only thing. Are these crates here? Yeah, these are some barrels down here you can use, and a sack. So, you know, a little bit of storage down here, but nothing too overpowered. There's nothing that's in this that would, you know, totally break the playthrough in any way like that. All right, let's get started here. So I've rebound the controls because I don't like the default controls in Minecraft. So my sneak is left control, my sprint is shift, and if we hit L, my they've changed this. I haven't used this version of Minecraft probably ever. So, there we go. Open quest menu. So I got rid of the achievements bound to L, and I changed it to quests. You can also get to the quest by hitting M and then going to, I think, over here somewhere. Maybe it's, let's just go here. Yeah. So I just hit L. I don't know the other way to get to it. And there usually used to be a book you get, but I don't see it now. So welcome to all the mods. 10 now in the sky again. So visit the overworld. So, you know, there's a kitchen sink mod pack, right? It's got everything in it. So you get some experience for a lot of these little things here. Quests are optional, but I like to do the quest. That's how I get through do most of it. Create your team, and you can claim your chunks and stuff there. Join the Discord if you have problems. As you can see here, here is all the quests, and chapter 1 is the only chapter that's out for Skyblock right now, so that's that. This one added some building stuff, like there's some building items you can get. You can click this and you'll get some blocks and all kinds of cool stuff. So I'm going to save clicking that because it does kind of get you ahead. But starting here, it wants us to get started, right? And so the first thing we do is click this check mark. Gives us some stake, right? So if you played the original or any of the Skyblock mods before, you kind of know what to do. If not, don't fear, the quest will show you what to do. So, you know, we have the option to go to a farm, get some cobblestone, we get some emergency items here, and then if you want to skip stuff, it'll give you the head start items to kind of skip a lot of this. But we're going to hold off on that right now. So the first thing we're going to do is punch a rock and punch the ground, right? So that's pretty much how this mod pack works. So let's get all this stuff out of our thing. Let's go here, get to the tree, and just hold down, mine's tilde. Hold down tilde, it'll break the tree in a single bound. There we go. Make sure we get a sapling. There we go, we got 4. Plus 2 more, right? Let's go ahead and put one there. Put one there. One there. And one there. Jeez, there's a lot of trees. And another one there. Now, this mod pack has the thing where you do the crouch and you get a tree, right? And that works out pretty well. Grab that, replant the sapling. That gives us a little bit of starter wood, right? Like, you know, go right here, make our basic crafting table like so, and then we'll go ahead and put that like right here. All right, so that unlocked the wood, so that gives us some sticks, some experience, and another sapling. Now it wants us to make a barrel, so let's go ahead and put a barrel on our list there. And it wants us to make cobblestone. So the way you make cobblestone right off the bat is you hold down your sneak and then you just right click the ground. And I gotta put them all like that. And this will just, you know, generate all kinds of little pebbles that we can combine up into to make the actual stones and stuff like that. You can use diorite, stone, the pink one, I think it's granite, and andesite. I think all of those will break into gravel when we start breaking with a hammer. So that's kind of nice. But we're going to do this just to get a few, you know, starting wood here, right? Let's go over to the crafting table. Let's go like this. We're going to make some chests. And we'll just throw them right here. Throw that in there and then throw all this in there. We could just, our bags are going to be full of junk and we don't need to worry about it. All right, we're going to take the stone pebbles and that'll be all we need for now. Let's go like that. Throw there, and then balance the grid, so it's all 16, and then we get our cobblestone. So we go like that, and go like that. Now we should have gotten some sticks, but what we're gonna do is get some more wood real quick. So we'll just go over here, do that. Let's see here, where do I put those? Grab those sticks. We're gonna do this. We're gonna take the stick, go like that, get a crook. Take the crook, go over to the tree, do that. You see there, we got some worms. Perfect. Let's go over to this tree, put a worm in it, and these trees didn't grow yet. Let's get this one growing. Put a worm in that tree, and then put a worm in that tree. All right, that should be, oh, we still got one more. So let's do this tree too. And put a worm there. Let's break this tree down now. Perfect. And then that tree back there. Okay. Now that will unlock silk and stuff like that. So that'll get us so we can start making our first sieve. We're gonna want to get a barrel made as soon as possible. So let's get we need more wood. So let's do that. Now you can see the worms are spreading in the tree, and that's kind of what we want. So we're just gonna let these kind of like exist for a few minutes while we get that going. Then we'll use a crook to break those. Yeah, let's get this one broken too. Now, if the trees are close enough together and they're touching, the leaves will spread the worms to the other trees and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. Just gonna get a little bit of wood here, like so. I think that's should be enough to get to where we want. So we want to make a barrel. Actually, we probably want to make more than one barrel. So let's see here. Go like that. So that's 6 per. So that's 1, 2, 3. It's 2 barrels. And one more. I think that should be good. Now we go like this. That. That's 6 barrels. All right, I'm okay with that. Now these barrels are going to collect water, so we're just going to put them down like over here. So when it rains, those will collect water, but right now not much else we can do with it. All right, let's break this one and replant that sapling. Perfect. So let's take a look at where we're at. We got the barrel. Gives us more slabs. Now, if we have milk, we can take that milk and make slime. To get milk, you have to have a cow, and I did not have any passive mob spawn when I was playing, so I think I'll have to build an island to put those in. So now we can make a stone barrel, which is fun. We can also make witch water, but we're not ready for that yet. And we can make our first seed. So let's go ahead and favorite these things here real quick. Wrong one. This one. So we should be ready to collect our string. So if we go over here, crook that, we get another worm or 2. Crook that, and we broke our crook, so we need to go make another one. You can see the leaves here, they were all right here. They spread. So, you know, be careful. It's, you know, I'm gonna eventually smooth this whole area out so we have more space, but the worms spread, so keep that in mind. All right, we got 5 more worms. Let's see if we can break some of this and some more. So ideally what we're getting here is silk. So that's kind of like what this is all about right now. Let's go ahead and put another tree back there. And eventually we'll get better methodologies here. And let's see some of the steak. So I like to like pretty much run at all times. I feel like we go way too slow normal mode, but there we go. All right, so all those are back up, and we got some logs. Let's do this. Let's get 16 sticks. Let's turn that into 2 crooks. Let's go over to this tree, get the rest of this silk out of here, and we can go ahead and break this one down. You can see all the leaves that were making this little thing cool are gone. All right, so we take our string, we can go like this, and we can make our first string mesh. We're only gonna make one for now because it's very expensive to level these up. Then we need to make some more of these. Let's get two of those. We're just gonna make one sieve for now. We'll deal with building more later. So we'll just put this one like right there, and put our string mesh in it. There we go. Perfect. So where does that put us? We got string, so that gives us some more experience. And now we can sieve. So we need to make gravel. How do you make gravel? You make gravel with a hammer. So, I think we have enough materials right now to go ahead and make that hammer. So it's 2 sticks and 2 cobblestones. There's our first hammer. Now we take that. Now, does this mod pack have the wand? The building wand, sticky stick, copper stick? Don't think it has the building wand that I'm used to. Something I didn't check beforehand. Man, it does not look like it. So. Oh, wait. Maybe these are what those are. Let's see what this actually does. Stick. Okay. See how you use this thing here. Shift. Okay. That is the sticky stick is the thing. So we just want to put all our cobblestone that we made right here. Grab our hammer. Hold down the tilde button for me to see up in the corner there. Ult mine. Just break that, and we get a bunch of gravel. We got 16 gravel, so it's a 1-to-1 ratio, right? So we can go here now, put that gravel into the sieve, and we're going to be getting items. You can't really see what we're getting right now because they're all going in my bag, but we'll show here in a second. So we get all 16 of these sieved up. Now, you can do a 5x5 sieve kind of multi-block, which will give you 25 sieves at once, but I find that early on it is expensive because each mesh is, 9 silk, and then it's 4 flint, 4 iron, 4 gold, 4 diamonds, 4 netherite. It's pretty expensive, and see, we didn't even get a single ingot from that 16. We got a bunch of other stuff, but we didn't even get a single ingot. Right, so let's drop all this in here. And we don't need that. What do we got going on over here? We got 1 tree. Let's put some silk in that for now. Save those, and we'll save our sticky stick. No, we don't need those on us. Perfect. All right, so that is done. So what do we get here? We got some more silk. We got our hammer, so we got that. We got more experience there. We also got gravel. All right, so that leads into we can make a flint shear. So let's put that on our list. I don't know if we got any flint off that. We can make sand. Let's get that on our list here. Let's put sand because I know how to make sand. And then dust, same thing. Let's see here. We can make leaves, so we need that flint. Did we get 2 flint? We only got 1, so we're gonna have to get more pebbles. So we got 3 gravel from that. So let's see if we can get some more gravel from these ones here. Those ones are used later on. I haven't found an early game use for those. So all right, let's go like this. Let's go over here so it's a little easier. Andesite, and then like that. There we go. We get andesite, and then balance the grid. We get gravel or granite, cobblestone, and diorite. These ones are the only ones I think can turn into gravel. So let's place these. We can just place these. There's not enough of them. We don't need the stick. Cobblestone. Diorite. And that one's already gravel. So we take our hammer and we just break all this up. That gives us 21 gravel. Perfect, right? We take that, turn this gravel into sand, and then take the sand and turn it into gravel, or into dust, right? So that unlocks this one, gives us more sand, and then more dust, right? All right, so that's good. Now we can actually go over here and start sieving again. Now, I don't think I will expand out the sieve. The ideal that I want to do is I want to rush, if we look at the map, I want to rush down here to stone generator. Getting the stone generator makes this infinitely easier. So that means we need clay. And, clay is from, where is it at here? It's water. Yeah, here we go. Water plus a barrel and dust. So it's not hard to get if you can get water. Now, I know there's water on this island, but we don't have a bucket yet, so we can't, you know, grab it to do anything. But we do have the, you know, all those barrels over there so that we can collect the water. We are going to make a, once we get enough flint, we're going to make the oak crucible, which will allow us to turn leaves into water. So that's kind of like where the path is for that. All right, let's take the dust and see what we get from there. We did, it looks like I did get the 3 flint now, so we should be enough to make that flint shears, which allow us to take the leaves off. So let's go ahead and we can start down the path of making that oak crucible and getting those leaves. And that'll give us the opportunity to put leaves in the crucible to make what we need. So let's just keep doing this. We'll throw all this in our chest over there. There we go. All right. What do we get? We got a iron nugget. Looks like a gas tier. Well, I guess the gas tier is flipped the other way. All right, let's throw all that in there because it's not useful. And then let's grab that and that. Let's grab these sticks just in case. All right, we made that. We made that. We need to make this. So that gives us that. We need to get the leaves, but we want to make this oak crucible, which is that monstrosity of a recipe there. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's take our oak or our shears. There's one right here. Perfect. Go ahead and shear that. Let's shear that too, just to get rid of that and that. Now let's put this one over here. We don't need these right next to each other. Just kind of, this is kind of why I like this island, because it gives us a little bit of extra room to like move around, right? Now we can put this stuff in here like that, and you can see there we have 12 millibuckets of water. So just, I don't have a hopper to feed it in automatically yet, so that's fine there. All right, we throw all that in there, throw that there, that in there, that in there. We'll keep that on us. Do we have a crook on us? No, we don't. Let's grab this crook. Let's get this one, and let's get this tree out of the way. I think this tree needs to get out of the way too. There we go. Perfect. All right, so that is that one's done. So we got another flint out of that. Get another sapling out of that. All right, perfect. That puts us pretty much at compressing the cobblestone and then getting the compressed hammer. Now the compressing, so you take 9 cobblestone, you can make 1 compressed. You take 9 compressed, you can make 2x, and so on and so on. And then you can use a hammer that's compressed to break all of those and turn them into them in a much faster way. That is the way to do it, not using this normal hammer. So that's kind of like the next path we're going to go down. Let's get rid of all of that. But what we need to do now is actually harvest a bunch of... Oh, we got bone meal. Perfect. We need to harvest a bunch of cobblestone. So I'm going to do that. We're going to do a little cut. And then when we have all that, we'll be ready to go. All right. Apparently my mouse has the ability to auto-click 20 times a second. So I can do this a little faster. So that's nice. All right. Let's get rid of some of this stuff so we can actually start processing it. Basalt can go. All right, let's go over here to our thing. 1. That's andesite. We want stone. We're stone. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This will give us 64 cobblestone, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Another 64 cobblestone. It doesn't look like we got as much of this material. Granite. Don't care about the deep slate. Let's get some more stone up in there. There we go. Perfect. Another bunch of that. Perfect. I think we can get rid of that too. What is this? Stone. All right, let's just get rid of the rest of this because now that makes it infinitely easier. I'll tell you what. Now we can take this. Will show the compressed. So if we go like that, split the grid. Boom. Like that. Split the grid. Split the grid. There we go. We have 21 compressed. We can even actually it's uncompressed. 9 of those. 2 of those. Because we want to actually make the hammer. Let's grab that. Let's grab some logs. Let's split that. There we go. Then we can take that, split that, that, and that, and there we go. We got our 9 hammers. At least I think that was 9. There we go. Now we can make our compressed stone hammer. Perfect. And then we still have 19 of this compressed cobblestone. So let's go ahead and do that. Now we have 2x compressed cobblestone. And we can go ahead and compress this and compress that. It's really inefficient to not use the compressed version. So we just go like that. Like that. Just pop it all on the ground here. Probably could have used the wand, but I'm lazy. And that's a granite. Let's get these. Then we take the compressed hammer and we can just break most of these up into compressed gravel, right? So there's compressed gravel times 2. So we go here, we get some compressed sand, more compressed gravel, we get enchanted fortune book, which is actually kind of nice because we can use this fortune book once we get an anvil to put it on one of these meshes and we'll get more materials. So there we go. So that's like everything here. And click that. And now we need to make a flint mesh, iron mesh, gold mesh. So let's start working on those. Do we have those leaves on us anymore? Let's grab those leaves. Keep this water situation going on. And looks like we have 1 bucket of water, so perfect. We don't have any way to get the water out yet. That's coming up very soon. So let's go over here to the sieve. And before we do that, do we have 4 flint? Because we could just skip right to flint. We only have 3 flint. All right, so let's throw all that in there. I don't need all that. All right, so let's get... So you can't do it with the compressed block. You have to uncompress them to do anything. So like that. So I'm going to try. Can I just like... Oh my gosh. Look how fast that is. That's like 20 clicks a second, right? Like here's normal speed. It's very slow. And then if I use my mouse button, oh my gosh, it is infinitely faster. Did we get our flint though? All right, we got 9 flint. Let's get this out of there. Get that out of there. Come on. All right, let's clear all that out of our bar. Let's grab that. Go over here. So you just grab the upgrade like so. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you get better rates. Like the material, it varies per material, but you get better rates for the most part. Let's go do the sand just so it's out of our bag. Oh wait, we need to click the fast way here. It's a waste of my time. There we go, and then go through this. We need what? I think it's 4 times 4, so 20, no, 16 of the iron chunks. And that'll let us upgrade to the iron mesh. And hopefully by this time we've gotten enough gold and we can go straight to gold right after that. So we got 10, that's not enough. Let's do that. And uncompress those even further. You can see it. This this speed click thing on my mouse is definitely faster. I'm using a Razer MMO mouse, so the software lets you change the buttons to be whatever you want, and I changed the button to be a right click 20 per second. Now you can create macros apparently. I had to Google it. You can create a mouse macro that will click faster, but I figure like this is probably good enough because this doesn't last. This whole phase does not last as long as you would really need to care about. Once you have the automation from the cobblestone generator plus the flux sieve and the flux hammer, once you have all that going, you don't ever have to do this again unless you really want to. Now it would probably be more efficient like if you did it yourself with 25 sieves with like gold diamond meshes or netherite meshes, whatever one's going to be the rate for whatever you want. But I mean, I can't be bothered to do that. So there we go. We have, all right, perfect. So we can take this right here, turn that into that, and didn't get enough gold yet. Which is fine, right? Let's just throw all this in here. Like so. Do we have any more cobblestone? And a side stone, perfect. I'll take the stone, turn that into that. Go over here, and we're gonna build our first furnace, like so. We also need coal to make the furnace work, right? Just throw that there. And then we can throw that in there, throw that in there. That'll give us our iron, perfect. All right, we got that mesh done. Gives us more flint. And we need the iron ingot from there. That'll unlock the antique air fryer, which will give us more steak. And perfect. And then we can make a copper hammer or a copper ore hammer, which will double the ore. So that's something we want to do, and we do not have enough of this yet, but we will eventually get enough of it. So there's 4 of that. I did build more chests, right? Yep, perfect. Throw that there. 1 and 2. Throw this stuff in there, I think is probably a smart move. We're going to receive that. And that there, and that can go in there. Perfect. There we go. We got our iron. Let's grab some leaves. Let's throw more of it over here. All right, while that's going on, let's go over here and sieve a little bit more here. I think we're gonna be fine. Oh, wait. Stop that. Wasting material right now. Let's get these off the bar, and let's grab that mesh. Go over here. Since we did get the 4, that's all we needed, right? That gives us the iron mesh. Throw that in there, and then we can take that and sieve through here, which will give us higher rates. It's like a higher, like there's a chance to get nothing every time you do this, right? And then from there you get higher rates of this stuff. So we got some more gold that time, but not enough to progress there. So let's throw that in there, throw that in there. All right, what do we got? We got 9 of that. We need more. 16 of that. How much copper do we have? 2. Let's grab that one. Perfect. There, we can kind of see those in the same box. And we got 2 more ingots too. Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna collect more materials, and we'll do another little cut to get enough to do this. Oh, we got some more raw. We got some more meat. We want to get enough to make this ore hammer. That'll double everything. So we only need half of what we needed before. to progress. And we still, well, actually, you know what we could do? Well, before we do that, I'm gonna make a bucket. Realize we have 3. Let's save that actually. We can double that, I think, into double. So that gives us a bucket, right? We can take that bucket, take the water from there, put it in one of these. And did I use up all my dust? I used up all my dust. Ah, son of a gun. All right, let me take this bucket out of here just in case it rains while I'm messing around here. Let's do that. Just throw that in there. All right, I'm gonna get more materials and we'll go from there. All right, we got some material. Let's see if we can progress a little bit here. Takes it's actually kind of annoying. Like I'm clicking this stuff so fast that I'm not getting I'm getting slowed down because all the stuff's going into the hotbar and preventing me from doing anything. All right, so we need to turn. Let's turn 5 of this into dust. So we have some dust laying around. Don't want that. Let's get that back up and let's put that one down. All right, we got 45 dust, so we can then go get that bucket of water we had. Where the hell I put that? There we go. Didn't rain while I was messing around with all that, so there we go. We got 1 clay. Back over here. 2 buckets. Let's put some more leaves in there while we're doing this. Actually, before I do anything. Oh my gosh, I'm almost not that great at this. Let's do this. Oh, there we go. Now we can unlimited water here. Perfect. Now we can go like that. And turn all this into the clay that we need. Now we're gonna need bone meal, so we'll have to. I think we have to sieve dust to get bone meal, so we'll have to do some of that. Let's get a few more of this. That should be plenty of clay for right now. Let's do use on that. That's a U, and then sieve, and then we have a iron mesh at the moment, so we will get bone meal 12% of the time with a maximum of 1. So that's pretty good there. Let's see what the gold is. Gold is 11% chance, but you can also get that to raw gold. So that is that. All right, let's go ahead and get this. See if we can get the bone meal we need. We got redstone, perfect. We're gonna need that very soon. We get a bunch of other stuff just unlocked. We'll go claim all that here in a minute. All right, we got 2 bone meal. That is definitely not enough. We need 7 total bone meal to progress forward with what we're doing right now. So let's just get rid of all of this. And all that in there and all that in there. So just throw that there and then there. So we're gonna need 7 to make our first crucible. So that's kind of where we're going there. I think it's gonna be better to take this gravel and break it down to dust. I think that's just gonna be the smart move right now, and then I'm gonna probably do another cut after we get this done to collect more resources, because ideally we want to get the cobblestone generator so we don't have to click on the ground anymore. That is like my biggest the biggest issue we need to resolve. But to do that we also need to make lava, so that'll require a little bit of work, but it is not as hard as you think, because we can use the crucible we're making to actually make the lava, and all you have to do is feed in stone. So it's not too bad. All right, we got, I think, enough. Yeah, we got 11. All right, perfect. So we can go here. Let's get 8 of those. put seven in there. There we go. We get our porcelain clay ball. Then we can go like this. Get our unfired crucible. Throw that into the furnace. Let that get cooked. All right. I can then take all this junk that we don't need right now and just throw it back into the box. We don't need that. And we're good there. All right. So that'll give us, I'll give us some more clay anyway. That'll give us this, which is the porcelain crucible. Then we're going to need to make this, which requires a bucket of lava. So we're going to need 2 buckets of lava. We have unlimited water and we have 1 bucket. So you do get the buckets back on that combined. So that's good to know. I think what we're going to need to do is generate material. I think that is what I'm going to need to do right now. So while that's cooking, I'm going to generate enough cobblestone to get us at least a bucket of lava and hopefully another bucket. We're going to need yeah, we need one more ingot of stuff. So let's do that. I'm going to generate some more and we'll go from there. All right, I got a bunch more gravel. We need to get the remaining, if we can get some gold, that'd be great. What we really need is more iron so that we can continue down that path. Copper would be really great too. So gold, copper, and iron are like totally in demand right now. And we're going to need the most of those as we can get. We got 7, so that's 1 more ingot, so that gives us another bucket. So that is actually perfect, I think. So let's just go through the rest of this. Hopefully we can get enough to do something. Are we getting copper? Yeah, we're getting copper. So we need 18 copper to make that ore hammer. So that's going to be a little bit down the road, I think. Once we get it automated, then we can you know, start working a little better there. But it's going to take a little bit of time to get enough copper. It takes a lot to get going here, but once you get past this first initial like manual stage, it's much smoother, and you can start going through all the different quest lines to find what you want to do progression wise. Hopefully we got enough in here. I'm trying not to spend as much as, oh, we got our first diamond. Try not to spend as much as we can, because we can double it, right? Like we're gonna be able to double it very soon. So yeah, 29, perfect. So let's do that, go there, and then let's do that one too, because it's 2. Got more of that. Kind of see what we got going on here. 2 more there. 4 there. All right, so let's take out of that. We need this iron bucket first, so let's just go ahead and do that stuff. Throw the rest of this stuff in here. And we got iron or gold ore, and we got 8 copper ore now. So that's pretty good. So let's go ahead and start this process. Let's put it over here. Let's get rid of all that. Let's get rid of that. And cut this tree down. So let's put down a torch, and then we put our crucible on top, and then we fill it with stone. We're gonna need 2 of the full, 2 full buckets of lava to go forward with that. So it'll take a little bit of effort there. Let's grab some more cobblestone. We got some in there. Did get our first diamond, so that's nice. And it looks like we needed more storage right now, so let's go ahead and make Some more chests. Let's just put these ones like right here. There we go. Now this'll go, right? This is like 100 millibuckets, right? It's gonna take a little bit of time to fill up. And we got our 7, so we can then take another bucket there. Perfect. Let's put that bucket there. I don't know where I put the other bucket. Excellent. All right. What do we got knocked off? We got this one, so we get some more clay out of that. So this is going to need some cobblestone, some glass. So let's go ahead and... I don't have my single hammer anymore, do I? Oh, man. Wait a minute. I might have... Yeah, we got granite. Let's do that. Let's use the granite. So we go like this. 16 of that. Compress that down into a single one. Break that. That gives us gravel. Break that. That gives us sand. Take that sand. Boom. 9 sand. Throw it in there. We got some iron in there. Throw it. One. We don't need to worry about that for now. Throw that in there. So that'll give us that. Let's see here. The ore hammer is still not there yet. Gold. How much gold do we have? We have 3 there. We have 4. Perfect. All right, that's going to take a second. So that'll let us upgrade our mesh to gold. So that'll give us slightly better rates. Not a whole lot better, but slightly. All right, we're at 300 millibuckets. I'm going to want more glass, I think, so... Let's see here. Diorite. Can we do andesite? Andesite, granite. I'm just scraping the barrel here now. Go like that, sort it out. Put the diorite in there, and then we can just throw this diorite like that. And that's all andesite. Sort that, and there we go. Then we can throw that in there, spread that out, compress it. Compress it. And compress it, right? So we're gonna want to probably turn all of this into gravel and sand. I think I'm gonna need... So I'm gonna need 3, 4, 5. So I need 10 glass to do what I want. Because I'm gonna put glass all the way around the thing, right? That gives me 9. Each of these is 9, so that's a lot. All right, that'll be perfect. So let's do 2, 3 of those. And that's sand. Perfect. We'll throw that in there. Throw that in there. 27. Perfect. All right, so that puts us here at... Just need those buckets. That'll be perfect. How are we doing over here on materials? We're at halfway to the first bucket. So we're gonna need the lava and the water to make the machine, and then we're gonna have to feed lava and water into it from a source block to actually generate everything. It's a little different than what I would remember personally from previous Skyblocks, but maybe that's just how they change it up now to balance it a little bit. There we go, throw that in there. All right, while we're waiting, let's turn this gravel into gravel and sieve it up here. hopefully we get more copper. I think that's really what I'm looking for right now. But once we get the cobblestone generator going, it's easy town. Like, it's definitely easy town. So then we have to make pipes and stuff like that, get that all flowing, which require more materials and stuff like that. It's just like a whole process. There we go, 730. 6 more of that. All right, let's throw all that in there. Where are we at copper-wise? 6 copper. Let's take that out of there. Actually, where is my... There's 8 copper, 6 copper, that's 9. That's 1 block. That's not enough. Not enough. Let's grab that coal, though. I think we're running low in here. Alright, that's 5 of those. That's enough ingots to upgrade the mesh. But if we get copper beforehand, we can double that and make 2 meshes, right? So, waiting on that, I guess. What does it want here? This is an iron furnace, which we can definitely make once we get more iron. I don't think we have enough for it right now. Yeah, we have 4. We need 8. 17 here, so that might be enough to push it. Yeah, it's another 4. And that would definitely work. So we're gonna need glass. What are we at? Oh, we're almost there. Alright, let's get our buckets ready. Let's go get 1 bucket of water. 950. Alright, so that'll give us the stone generator, right? I'll get that done. And I think that's what we'll do for this episode. I think and we're at an hour and 10 minutes plus whatever I need to cut out. So it's pretty long. So that'll give us, you know, second episode. We finish up the chapter 1 here. And well, let's while we're waiting, let's claim this stuff. So you get random stuff, right? I'm gonna pick steel just because I think steel is gonna be harder to get, even though iron would probably be a better choice. Basic storage, functional storage. This is just telling us about these different mods we're gonna start exploring here very soon. Then every time you get a material, you get more experience. So if we go up here to claim all rewards, you can see we got dirt, we got a book of trees, a stick, a sapling, osmium, a pollen sieve. I don't even know what that is. Raw iron, bunch of stuff, a drawer. It's just like all random stuff you get here from doing all these. There's a few more we didn't do here. Osmium. We got osmium, so we get some iron and osmium, so we can start mechanism. Mechanism's power hungry, so it's gonna be a little bit. But this is how we're gonna process ore, it looks like. So we enriched, then smelt. There's a whole process here to, you know, triple, quadruple the ore and stuff like that. Looks like here, if we claim these, we will get all the vanilla trees. I'm not going to claim that right now. This will give us a crafting table. I'm not going to claim that right now. And then basic storage gives us drawers and plus the random reward there, which we got a hopper, which is actually kind of nice because then we can kind of automate this while we're waiting. Oh, we got 2 hoppers. Perfect. So just throw that on top there. Oh, helps to have the right item in your hand. And then go here, just put like half that in there. And that'll auto feed it in, but we did get our bucket, so let's grab that. Got a bunch of stuff on our hands now. Now we can go over here. And we can craft our stone generator. Perfect. Now I'm going to put it right... I'm going to put it right there. So we're gonna put that there. And then where's my glass? Because I want it to look nice, right? We're gonna do a block there, like that, like that. And then we're gonna put another block there, another block there. Let's put a ladder up here. And then we need one block behind it to prevent it from flowing. And we do not have a pickaxe. There's 2 sticks, perfect. Go over here, 2 sticks, and across the top gives us a pickaxe, which will allow us to break that and that. Perfect. Now, we don't have enough lava yet. Let's go over here, let's get the water. Let's get this all situated up. So what you gotta do is let's clear out some of that. You put the water in like so, right? And then I'm gonna put a piece of glass on top. Just so it's not an issue. But I mean, it's probably not a big issue. And then we'll put lava on the other side. We need a item to put all this stuff into, and well, actually we got a drawer, so that's the item we're going to use. That'll give us, you know, 2,000 blocks or something like that. That's perfect. Otherwise, I just put a barrel there and claim it out. Let's go fix that real quick. Sleep. It's been a hot minute since we slept. There we go. Alright, they're gonna go away. We can drop all this in there. We're gonna have to save these buckets and throw all that in there. Alright, we need 1 bucket for the lava. How we doing over here? We're at half a bucket. Oh my gosh, this is gonna take forever. Alright, so I smelted up the gold so we can make a gold mesh real quick. I think that'll be a nice little upgrade. There we go. Gold. And do we have 4 diamonds? We have 1 diamond. Yeah, we only have 1 diamond right now. Otherwise we could upgrade to diamond mesh, but we don't have that yet. So we get more gold from that. Plus we got this one, which is more gravel and sand. So that's compressed gravel and sand, right? So that gives us 9 blocks of each. Let's go ahead and sieve these real quick in our new mesh. Let's actually put it in. Gotta put it in the hole, right? There we go. And super speed here. And if we're lucky, we'll get 3 diamonds. I don't think we will. Got emerald though. We didn't get a single diamond. So we can throw all this back in there. We did get a raw gold, so that's 4. I mean, that's 1 ingot, right off the bat, so that's pretty nice. Throw all that in there, and we want our cobblestone. We should be, oh my god, it's almost there. The hopper was really useful. There we go, we got our bucket of lava. Throw that in there, and then throw a piece of glass there. And you can see we're generating 2 cobblestone every few seconds. So that is excellent. And that is done. Let's get rid of all this stuff. And so that's going to churn and generate a lot of that. Now, we have this as our porcelain crucible. So let's kind of talk about where we're going next. We're going to work and get our diamond mesh. We'll probably do the netherite mesh just because it's not that hard to do. But we'll have to figure it out and get that. But we're going to probably go into this path to get our first starting power. Now, there is no quest that I saw. There might be one, but I didn't see it when I was looking earlier. That we're going to do is the flux That's EX. So we're going to make the flux sieve and the flux hammer. That's going to be kind of the next thing we're going to do. So we generate materials, we send them into the flux hammer, which breaks it into gravel. Then we take it from the gravel and we can either send it to another hammer to break it down to the next tier or the next tier. So you can have 3 hammers, right? And you just break it down and then you take it and then send it to the sieve to process it. There's different upgrades you can get to upgrade this to different levels and stuff like that. But they get ridiculous in the power usage as you upgrade those. So there's going to be kind of something to look at there, but we'll have to be very cautious when we do that. The first power generator conveniently uses lava. This one right here, the magnetic generator. This will take in lava. So what we'll do is we'll build some more of these porcelain crucibles and fill tanks up with lava that they generate to feed into the magma crucibles and stuff like that to generate our first bits of power. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing in the next few bits. But thank you very much for watching, and please have a fantastic day.